Tesla stock had a decent day today with the stock up over 3.7%. And now, unfortunately, year to date, Tesla is still down roughly 40%. And from its 52-week high, the stock is down over 50%. And on today's episode, what I want to do is take a closer look at 3 reasons why I believe Tesla is one of the best AI plays out there outside of the semiconductor industry. Now, I'm not going to deny the fact that there's a lot of controversy and a lot of headwinds for Tesla stock. But on today's episode, I want to look at more the bullish takes. Like always, if you want to learn more about the semiconductor market, make sure to check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechipHappened.com. So let's get started.
I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so like I mentioned, I want to talk about the bullish case for Tesla. But first, let's kind of discuss maybe some of the bearish thoughts that are happening with Tesla in the long term and in the short term. In the short term, I do believe there's a lot of volatility due to kind of Elon Musk and his role with the current administration. There is a lot of just hate and love with that, and that just creates volatility all around. The second thing, which I want to say is more a little bit long-term pain, is the automotive market has been very, very weak. And we're going to see in forms of revenue in a bit that Tesla's revenue hasn't grown much in the trailing 12 months. And we might continue to expect certain dips as the automotive market. It's not just an EV thing. I'm not going to say it's due to a competitive thing. I think it's mainly just the overall automotive segment is pretty weak, and Tesla is feeling the pressure there. The final thing that I want to say is probably one of the biggest bearish thoughts for Tesla right now is the valuation is very much expecting this to be a top AI player. And if you don't believe Tesla is an AI company in valuations, this seems completely crazy. But again, I do look at Tesla as an AI company. Now I am sitting at levels where I would gladly add more. And the first reason is while this company, like I mentioned, the revenue here, we can look at the trailing 12 months, has kind of seemed like a flat line and not much growth in the past year or so. Because of that weakness in the automotive segment, it still is a nice revenue player overall. The company also has a lot of cash and short-term investment, so it could handle either new investments that it might be doing in things like robotics, in things like AI, and things like automotive solution without really building much debt if they don't need to, or without diluting shares. So overall, the company's balance sheet is super important, and that's very, very crucial for an automotive company that is dealing in a horrible market right now in the automotive industry. And then we can see total long-term debt is about 7.9 billion, and they are positive on free cash flow of roughly 3.6. Now, one thing that I actually find pretty crazy is, unfortunately, if you bought in around like late 2020, you're pretty much flat on this company. And which is really interesting to me, right? Because I believe in the past 5 years, if you look at it from December 20th, the stock has actually increased the chance of success dramatically. In my opinion, during that same time frame, it has become a way bigger AI player. The chances of success of things like AI robotics has increased dramatically with the innovation of AI, with the amount of data that it has, with the amount of infrastructure that it has. So for me, if now kind of considering that the market was willing to give it that valuation before, but now it has way more opportunity to grow, gets me pretty excited. So overall, I think the first reason that I'm very bullish in Tesla is just they have a healthy balance sheet. And that balance sheet is great for, like I mentioned, any forms of AI innovations and investments pushing forward, and any type of being able to survive a very weak market that we continue to see in the automotive space. And not many automotive companies can say that, and not many AI companies have the kind of cash and free cash flow that Tesla has. Now, I do also enjoy their valuations compared to their average, and that is what's very crucial. I think if you look at valuations, things look pretty expensive. This is one of the most expensive and the most expensive Max 7 out right now. Tesla's PE ratio forward is 82.48. Forward 1 year is 62. But if we look at the average for 1 year is about 60. It's about 82.24. So we are sitting below those forward 1 year averages. averages. Again, if you're investing for Tesla, you're really much investing for the future. And I can see why this is not an investment style for a lot of people. But as an engineer myself, I do enjoy seeing actual products and seeing the work of the engineers. Personally, I do have a Tesla. Every time I get in it, I want to say I turn on FSD, and I'm always amazed by the engineering talent. And that engineering talent is not made by one person. It's not made by Elon Musk. It's made by a huge amount of engineers, a huge engineering team. And that talent, I think, can succeed with what they're doing here with FSD, and they could succeed with the next stages of AI innovations. So forward PE ratios below averages got me pretty excited about the valuations at the moment. Again, these valuations in real term, in core values, seem pretty crazy. I tend to look more at the average base. So the first reason was a strong balance sheet. The second thing is valuations are now sitting below certain averages in the past few years. And the third thing is I do believe Tesla is one, or if not one of the best AI companies right now. During their Q4 2024 earnings, which happened in January of 29th, Elon Musk mentions that he doesn't know who's in second place when it comes to real world AI. And he says he would need a very big telescope to see them. That's how far behind they are. And I do agree that's the case. I don't think any other AI company, being private or public, has the physical AI and real world AI technologies that Tesla has. And that's not just the amount of data that they have in the automotive segment. It also includes the amount of infrastructure and data centers that they have in their own solution. It also includes the AI chips that they designed, the Dojo chips, the FSD chips, which are their inferencing chips. So Tesla, really great as an AI company. They have everything built up. They have the infrastructure, they have the internal silicon that they can make, they have the data, they have the cash, and they have a huge engineering team. So I personally would agree that there is no other real world AI company out right now with the type of opportunities that Tesla has. If you think there's somebody else out there, please let me know in the comments below. I am going to say that while I believe Elon is a smart guy, the timeline that he gives is never something I ever trust. But, and kind of the numbers he gives are never numbers that I also put to true value, but it's more to understand where the trend is going. So one thing that he mentioned during the earnings call was that he believes Tesla is in a path where it could be worth more than the top 5 companies. So it's a difficult path, but it's an achievable path. I don't believe that's going to be the case, that this is going to be bigger than the next top 5 companies combined. But I do believe that he is right, that Tesla is going to be worth much more in the future than it is right now, right? And that's me kind of putting his extreme bullishness back to level grounded. And again, I don't believe it will be that it's going to be that big, but I do believe it will be bigger in the future than now. And Elon believes the main reason this is going to happen is because they do have this amount of technology in things like autonomous vehicles and autonomous humanoid robots. And it's setting up for what they believe will be an epic 2026. We can see 2025 is going to be pretty weak. He says it's going to be a groundwork, but I'm going to guess it's going to be a very weak automotive market, just like it's been in 2024 and 2023-ish. And it's also going to be a time where AI innovations just continue to grow. But he expects an epic 2026, a ridiculous 2027, and a ridiculously good 2028. So all those seem extremely bullish. Maybe bring it down a notch. Maybe 2026 might not be the epic. Maybe we might see it in 2027. But overall, as a long-term investor, I get to see that long-term mentality that Elon has for Tesla. And I do agree that the way AI innovation is moving, the way they have this strong manufacturing push, which can go really well with their autonomous vehicles and the autonomous humanoid robots, can set this company to have some epic years ahead. So I think if you're a Tesla shareholder, you're going to have to kind of keep a closer eyes on kind of their own supervised full self-driving that is happening in Austin this June. So that's going to be crucial. We can't see kind of these timelines get pushed off too much. The other thing is we got to continue to see innovations of Optimus, the humanoid robotics. And I'm not saying that we're going to see humanoid robots anytime soon, but we need to see continued innovation in that space as well. There are other reasons to be bullish on Tesla, but again, I really just wanted to focus more on the AI play and why I believe Tesla could be a massive AI winner. It's not a guaranteed, but at least the probability of success are higher than other companies because, in my opinion, valuation is not that crazy from its average. Its balance sheet is pretty strong to be able to either invest more or withstand any form of negative pressure with macroeconomics. And finally, they just have amazing engineering team with pretty much a full stack of software, of hardware, of data, of infrastructure, and the list goes on and on. And I think that is very crucial for being one of the top AI companies.